That's right. Time to check in on the reigning champion here in the midweek muster. We're into week number 6, folks. Vortex versus Myriad. The winner of this will be going up against Dumu, who we just saw beat B2-0. And Vortex, his heart yearns for it. The classic, back to where he wants to be. The Mongols, the signature civ that really began it all for him. And one that has always looked stern and scary in his hands. Myriad, on the other hand, may get his teeth kicked down. This is kind of rough. I really like Mongols against Malians. You get that easy-peasy outpost rush value, and you always know there's going to be value there because of the houses around the pit mine. A little bit ambitious, actually, that Myriad even tried to build the houses, and this feels even more ambitious. Iraq's defense from Malians, an intriguing concept. However, usually a problematic idea because Malians have to play long Dark Age like this, and they have to pay way too much into Donzos. Remember, Donzos cost 30 wood each. Your straggler trees disappear so quickly with this play. Meanwhile, Mongols can keep playing like this because they move their TC to a tree line. So they can afford to just keep pumping these more efficient, only 20 wood spearmen. And getting, occasionally, units for free via the double production. Interesting. When did Beastie play? We cast Beastie's game against Lash on Friday. We'll be looking to catch up with his series up against the winner of Krakeny versus Kiljadi. Probably later today. If not today, we will look in on it tomorrow. But for those that don't know, we always aim to cast every single one of the round of 16, quarterfinals and semifinals every single week. Which is why, if you don't want to spoil it for yourself, you should just wait to tune in here Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays to catch it all. Vortex, quite a few spears already coming. Villager, love this double villager pool. Usually the problem with one villager here is that the Donzo defense will snipe you because of the javelin throws. But you can't really get enough Donzos to kill 2 villagers fast enough here. Especially when you do that. He wasted a javelin throw. Yeah, so the spearmen going to contest this. Now, Donzos will win in equal numbers, right? That's the tricky thing. However, it's not meant to be feasible to do because these Donzos are so expensive. Villagers go back in for the build. Good micro by Vortex pulling away there and kind of baits him in for like, what, a 1-for-1 exchange? Villagers are now being targeted though, and Vortex having to shuffle away. Did he mistime this? Looks like the spears are a little bit lacking on their arrival. Shivs are going to be brought out. Well played there. Vortex just getting that extra poke damage in. He needs it. More houses being built up. This is becoming overly ambitious from Myriad. Vortex has got a lot more spears coming. However, he also made a mistake here. He didn't want to cancel the outpost. Has to recommit fast. And that injured villager could end up being a huge liability here. This one villager from Myriad, man, he's going for gold. Can he get it, though? You need to go back in for the repairs right now. If Myriad just turned around with the spears and burned this. Instead, he keeps on fighting. 2 more, make it 3. Okay, 2 now. He cancels it. I am shocked. Vortex, I think he could have went back in there. It was down to 2 Donzos. Javelin throws are 5 apiece, right? You have a villager with 16 health. Make it 17. I don't think there was any necessity to cancel that in the end there. Vortex, now just waiting for the wood to try again. Does have the spear count to scare Myriad away. Myriad is instead looking for an age up now. And all of a sudden, this timing from Vortex is going to feel a little bit lackluster. Looks like he's going to leave just 1 villager here. So he pulls back the one on 10 HP. Makes sense. 2 javelins from the Donzos would just kill. And he's at least burning down the houses, so it's not catastrophic. Vortex is still getting paid. And Myriad, every time he loses the house, has to replace it. That means less Donzos in the Dark Age. Villager is very low now, though. And a little bit tricky. Brings 2 more villagers fresh for this. So Vortex, he's cycling them all to frontline duty here. 2 new villagers arrive. Myriad, there's no way you can stop this now. It has become inevitable, Mr. Anderson. Poke comes in again. Another Donzo does go down. Myriad, what are these houses? What? Are we donating to the Vortex Foundation here? It's almost like he's trying to use the edge of TC range to bait Vortex to come closer, but I don't buy it, man. I'm not convinced. Donzo's with the dive in here. Ooh, villagers are going to have to shuffle away. Vortex looks like he is going to end up losing one eco unit here. Donzo's, of course, being quicker. However, he will come back to finish off that outpost. So Myriad will now get blocked off the gold, and his backup gold is very far away. He just scouted it. This is not a good feeling. Look at how far away the TC is. And Myriad, by the way, he kept fighting into this instead of going for age 2. Look at his gold. 422 gold now. Guy's going to be able to buy a bank by the time he's ready to tech up. Villager is still shuffling around. He's like, I know it's coming. Where's that villager? And I can't believe this. Vortex is actually aging up first after all this. This is so ridiculous. The game has been going now for 7 minutes, by the way. In case you thought this was your classic 2 minutes of Dark Age. No, 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 no. It's very rare that we see Dark Age actually matter in AoE4. This is one of the situations where it most definitely did. And now it's going to be a commitment. Vortex. We've got to tap those hammers up. Little ring of roses to guarantee it. Finally. Finally! When did he originally come here? Was it 3.5 minutes? 4 minutes of outpost attempting. The Mongols get it up. Myriad now needs to tech up fast here. He's behind. And he has to feel it as well. He goes to the Saharan trade network. You're going to need a lot of villages for that. And I mean a lot. Yeah, okay. He realizes that Mansa is dead. 11. Make that 10 villages. Meanwhile, Vortex has remained a lot more efficient, folks. He's had 4 villages doing this. And remember now, with all these extra houses that Myriad randomly committed into, Myriad's just paying him. Oh man, this is brutal. I do think this is a very hard matchup for Malians, by the way. Even when you try to play the Dark Age, and you're seeing why. Like, at first it looked really good for Myriad, but as the minutes went on, it became more and more difficult to sustain. And that's the effect of the cost. Donzos will beat Spearman 1-for-1, for sure. With the melee armor. Incredible, right? And the javelin throw on top of that, just chef's kiss. But the problem is the cost. You're paying 10 extra resources, and more important than that, it's the type of resource. Like Dark Age, do you really want to have to build a lumber camp, right? That's what you had to do. And then with 2, this went on so long. Now the Arislet's coming up to guarantee he never gets back on here. Myriad, meanwhile, is going to be sitting up the pit mine at the back, but we can already see that Vortex is sicking his card on it. Oh, man. You know, I've often been one of the people saying that I feel like Dark Age could kind of disappear. I really think this is one of very few examples where actually Dark Age still fits. I think it also comes down to map design. If you really want to make Dark Age kind of matter, you need to be creative with your maps, right? There's a few examples where it can be valuable. For example, HRE, but that's because of marching drills and their economy making it kind of worth. But there's a lot of matchups where Dark Age just simply doesn't need to be there, it feels like. It's weird. Like, because of the fact that some civs do thrive off of it, such as Mongols, you can't really remove the age. It's just unfortunate we don't have more prevalence for the entirety of the roster of civs to play this age. Second TC behind this. Oh, Vortex is in cruise mode, man. This guy, a year ago, would never think 2 TC. Even if the Mongols had the buff TC cost back then, he wouldn't think 2 TC. He'd be like, okay, you know, I've got like a 5% advantage. Now, how do I make that 20% by attacking him? But this is smart by Vortex. There is nothing Malians hate more than 2 TCs. Looks like Villager Kill is going to come in there. It's nicely played. Javelin transition from Myriad. Archer's actually being added in. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he even bothered with Javelins. Probably was expecting the Archer follow-up, right? But you need to address what you see, and what you see is a lot of spears. Has he scouted it yet? I don't think he's looked for it. I mean, Myriad hasn't even picked up the extra sheep at the back here. It's almost like he's checking the goal to try and figure out whether Vortex is rushing castle. And I think he is. Yeah, we've got pastures, we've got fast castle. 2 TC fast castle. That is how far ahead Vortex is on this opening. That's kind of wild, actually. To feel that confident against Malians from this position. I mean, it shows you just how brutal this beginning really was. So another villager likely to go down as well. Spiminar in the way. And that is going to be a dead villager again. He's rushing towards the base. And it looks like it's enough to convince Vortex he needs to play the Age. So, okay, he's going to press pause on the fast castle. We have now got Keshiks getting queued up. What is up? The amount of midweek muster games we must cast. Oh, yes. We got a busy day here on the Mondays, folks. Pushing now coming in. Vortex is going to find pressure on this Evu before he's able to have enough troops to defend it. That being said, actually, maybe not. It's just Donzos. 2 Javelin, 2 Archers, 8 Donzos. And he doubles Archers. This is smart. He's going to push me right back. I mean, he's only got 2 Javelins overall, right? The torch froze! Totally was not intentional. Oh, the timing on that. I can't believe that still has not been fixed. So, folks, basically, if you time it right, your torches can be holed all the way after a runaway target. Requires very specific timing, though. It's to do with the release point on your torches. Looks like he's going to dive in now. Donzo count getting finned. The Keshiks are ready to open this up like a can of baked beans. And he's baiting him perfectly. You see it, Vortex barely lets him touch him there. Yamor is at least not there, but when you arrive at home, it's going to be activated again. Remember, this is the other pain value of letting Mongols get that outpost up. It's a staging point where they can kite you. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Why queue on AoE4 and play games yourself when you can just watch games? When you watch them here, you're always a winner. Unless you aren't subscribed, in which case, occasionally you're going to feel like you've lost when ads come up, but I can't do anything about that. Sorry. So I think he just gave Vortex an all-in timing, right? Scary as well, because the way Mongols can play this, they're scaling an eco lead. They can eventually go castle with, say, 50 archers. Kurotai. And then curtains closed, right? Huge edge. There you go. Marco Tambi got the idea. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate the sub. Welcome to Swarm. Who else will follow in Marco's genius routine of subscribing? It's a good investment. He needs that outpost gone. I mean, if he waits any longer, right? It's the Yam. You can't fight here with Yam. The archers are just going to get in too quickly on the Donzos. Just feels like it might already be too late to try and break it, though. The other big scary part is the blacksmith advantage. Myriad is at least now mirroring that. Steel Dara is coming in. A lot of active gathering on this backside. Already 1,000 gold depleted there. Vortex a hell of a lot of pastures. Is there a world in which he just ages up? I think if you get to like 45 archers, you could, but at that stage, it's more value for Vortex to just wait for Myriad to try and tech and dive him, right? Because you can rush it from this position. And you should see it from this position, right? Yeah, he can see the ranches now. And if he just brings the Khan around, he'll see they're almost full. So Myriad has one punt, one play out of doom here. And if it gets sniffed, if it gets pounced on, the game will be over. The Keshiks are indeed circling. A dangerous game by Myriad as he's playing out into pocket ecos. Archers, at least getting blocked on their rotation. We'll have to shuffle away, but the Keshiks do get in. Good strike here by Vortex. Finds himself a worker kill. Might still find himself more. Actually finds the javelin spawning here. Good news for Myriad is that did not find the berries. That would have been catastrophic. He needs that food right now to get that castle play. A calmer moment here's Vortex. The Keshik count is kind of getting scary, right? Like, Myriad hasn't built enough Donzos to equally, rather appropriately deal with this, right? Equal numbers would at least feel kind of okay for Donzos, a premium spear that they are. And he's ahead for now, but my worry is with this choice to go castle, Vortex is going to take the lead there. You already got 3 more Keshiks queued up. I imagine one of them is a double produce. Okay, looks like Uvu did run out, so positive side of things at least for Myriad. Flash comes in. Archers fishing for those Donzo kills. They can clear the way. The Keshiks can win the game. Needs to keep baiting them out of position. Gets a charge in there. That was interesting. Vortex done the minimum distance charge, so the Donzos couldn't brace. Not sure if it's really worth it, though. Losing, what, 2, almost 3 Keshiks there. It's a little bit gluttonous from Vortex. After all that, it looks like they're both now just going to get to their castle play. Okay. So Grand Fulani for Myriad. About to be on the way. 15 villages being pulled. Vortex is going to mirror now. Kurotai should be the obvious choice here. Similar timing as well. However, this is important. Myriad has kind of reset the chessboard, but now he's going to fall behind. The sweet spot is about 20 villages to feel like you don't have to worry about the Fulani. And Vortex already has a 22 villager lead. So this is now a Myriad to make a move fast. The difficulty is now between the Yam and the next Aura arriving. That's what's going to pin him. Vortex will work religiously to contain him in the space. Wouldn't even be surprised if he just looks to go straight into a monastery himself to start also extracting additional value off the map. Pack-up tech also coming in 10 seconds. So that mobility is going to get the Kurotai over here fast. Veterancy for archers already queued. Keshiks as well. Myriad will get his tech timers quicker, so there is a breakout opportunity here. But he doesn't seem to be taking it. There's a lot of hesitation, right? He's playing kind of a wide economy on the back of his base. Doesn't feel safe. I'm surprised this pit mine got left alone. I mean, it is still 35 gold that's just been given for free. Not to mention, it's kind of like a pseudo outpost. Might be able to get some info out of it. Well, the Kurotai hasn't moved yet from Vortex, which is a little bit surprising. Ah, I see. Name of the game is shame the landmark and then it moves. So on the way to the front line now, Veterancy did just kick in. We do have important armors coming though, Myriad. There is a way here. It's all about positioning though. You need to guarantee you're not fighting near the Kuril. Instead, he peels the sofas quite early here. And that is going to get scouted. Archer does see it, so Vortex. Yep, he even starts attacking them. He'll be able to pull back. Keshiks are actually already on the way to address this. And Myriad, even now adding in the farms. Good read, he needs to get more food. It's also a lack of gold access, so like what else can you do with all these villages, right? I think that's the biggest issue I'm seeing from Myriad is like, you know, you can't survive in this corner for long. The wood, the food, it's all a limiting factor. Gold, right? Like, you know, gold the biggest one of all, actually, at this rate for him. Especially when trying to spam sofas. Men-at-Arms, in the meantime, have arrived. Kurotai is on a coffee break. We got to shame it again to get it moving. Vortex. I mean, this is the awkward part of Yam, actually, sometimes, is you might forget because you're like, oh, I've got an aura, I'm fighting. Yeah, it's the wrong aura. We don't have the damage buffer yet. Vortex doesn't seem to care, though. Donzo count down to 13. Defense armor is going to be activated by the Khan. And I don't... Wait, what was that click? Well, the sofas just ran around Scramble Brain there. And got scrambled like an egg. Last of the standing sofa here. About to flop. Archer mask on, and that is it. GG comes out. Vortex back to his true self, man. The way he played the aggression on the opening is the Vortex that we all remember. This boy is going to be feared going into 2025. What do you guys think? Where did it go wrong? Should you be trying to fight Vortex of all people, Mongols of all civs in that Dark Age? Was that the doom point in this game? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you the next one. Let me know if you think Myriad can get a game off of Vortex.